Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Making Your Own Mindful Fortress Craft Evolved using XML code. What a mouthful that is! Well, at least you know what it's about. So, today we're looking at part 2 of the machine override code. Okay? And this is what you need, okay, to get it working. Okay, now again, this was sent to me, so I know it's right, I know it works, and we're going to be testing it. Okay, so let's start off. Friendly name. Normally you would use a key, but you don't need to use a key because you've got the key already in the terrain data file. Okay, so you just call it Cold Compactor, yeah, and that goes in the menu item, I believe. Spawn object. Very important, this one. Currently at the moment you cannot put in your own objects, right? They've not written it, they've not told us how to do it or anything like that. If you're a C++ programmer or a DNL programmer, you'll probably know how to do this, but if you're doing XML coding, you can't do it because they haven't put the hooks in. Right, loading information, sorry, loading animation is locked because again, you're not going to be able to change the animation of the way the machine works. And don't forget, the spawn objects are only the ones that DJ and Nick and the other devs have made. Okay, working animation, I have no idea what that is. Now it says in. Okay, unloading animation is locked. Again, I have no idea what that means. Crafting string, have no idea what this means. Now it says compressing here. I'm using a compressor, I'm making a compactor. Right, value, this is very important, which is the machine that you've called your compactor. Okay, your item, your name, what you want it to do. Okay, now that value needs to be the same as the terrain data value. So you can't have that as Cold Compactor 2 if it's not in the terrain data, because it's looking for a Cold Compactor, not a Cold Compactor 2. Again, case sensitive. Now this here, power per second, power transfer per second, max power storage, craft time, optional ingredients, okay, is not required. You do not need it. Okay, you can just say, I'm not going to have anything on the machine, I'm just going to have it working on hydraulics and stuff like that. It doesn't need any power, I'm not going to use it. Okay, because I've got oil, got hydraulics, and I've got gears. I don't want it to have power. You can just lock it out. Okay, and we're going to show you how to lock that out at the end. Now if you do want them to have power, this is where you've got to balance your power. Now you might say power per second is 0.5. that's not a lot, but what you've got to realize is that is not how much you are sending the machine. Okay, right, that is how much the machine is using per second. So if you want your compactor to use a lot of power, set it to 10 units per second. That's going to be a very hard machine to keep going, okay? Because, you know, in 60 seconds you're going to need 600 units of power, okay? Because you're using 10 second, 10 units per second. So a minute you're using 600 units. So that is half the power, just under half the power of a T1 power transfer cube. Okay, so be very, very careful on that when you're setting your power. Test it in game over a period of time. Is it too powerful? Do you need to have something else? Do you need to lower it? Test it. It's the only way I can say. But for a level 1, for me, 0.5 per second is fine. Power transfer per second. This, I believe, is how much you can transfer to the machine per second. So the max it will take is 1024. So if you've got a wind turbine or a jet propulsion energy or a black hole and it's sending you 20,000 units of power, the only thing that this is going to pull is 1024. That's the maximum it's going to do. Maximum storage power. It's only going to store 100 units. You don't need it to store anything else. So this can help you when you've got a lot of machines and you've got nice little laser setups and stuff like that. So I don't want 100 units. I don't need anything else. I can siphon off the extra power to something else. So again, consider the maximum storage that the machine can store. Okay, if it's going to store a lot, it's going to take a lot to get that power going up when you first put it in. Okay, craft time. Again, this is how long it's going to take you to craft an item. 60 seconds this is, not 60 minutes. Okay, if you want 2 minutes, it's 180. If you want 3 minutes, get a calculator out. Okay, so again, depending what you're compressing, depends what you are going to use it for. How long are you going to say, well, it's going to take me, I've got 8 blocks and I want to compress it within a certain time. Now the reason I've got 60 seconds here is because if you use a T1 drill head and you put this on the conveyor belt line, yeah, it will keep up with a T1 drill head. If you use a T2 drill head, it won't keep up. Okay, just as simple as that, will not keep up. Alright, optional ingredients, leave it set to false. You don't need anything else with it. And then this is the recipe. Okay, now the recipe is the item that you are going to need or going to want the machine to make. Okay, so the key is the item that you're going to feed the machine. Okay, which is here, which we're looking at coal ore. So we're going to feed it coal ore, which is a tier 0. So that's when you go first find your coal ore. The crafted key is what you're going to turn it into. Now you can take dirt and turn it into diamonds, but do you really want to do that? We're taking something called lignite, which is, if you Google different types of coal, this is actually another type of coal. Okay, and how many are you going to tell the machine to craft? 1, 2, a million? Again, it's all about balance. You can make a mod out there that you could do Fortresscraft Evolved in an hour or 10 minutes, because you can say, right, I'm going to have 1 piece of coal and give you 1,000 pieces of lignite. I haven't got to go and do coal anymore. I've just got all the coal I need for the whole game. Balance. It's all about balance. Okay. The reason I made the coal compactor was to take 800 units of coal and put that 800 units into a 100 unit hopper, which can be done because for 1 lignite you're going to take 8 coal ore. So that hopper has now got 800 items in it, but it's only 100 items of lignite. Hopefully that was understandable. So the costs here, this is what lignite is made of. This is what you're looking to make. The craft cost, yeah, is how much it's going to cost, and this is the amount. Why did we do 8? Why did we not do 16? Why did we not do 32? A T1 drill head will mine 8 units of coal ore per minute. That's how we came to 8. Alright? Yeah? And that is why you've got 8. Again, balance. There's no point making 10 if it's going to take a minute to mine 8, because your craft time is 60 seconds, which is a minute. So you're going to start getting backlog. I know, I tested it. Alright? And the key, you're going to be using coal ore. Okay? Research cost. Don't know why it's in there. Leave it. Do not touch it. Description, again, it's locked. Leave it. Recipe, that's it. Okay, and that is how you make the terrain data work with your machine. Okay, now there's one more important thing, and I'm going to show you down here, okay, because you won't be able to see it. Now, when you save the file, it must be saved. I'm gonna copy it out. Like that, right? Okay. So if you're looking and it was done in text, it would be user ID dot what would it be, item ID dot XML. Okay, so that would be your name. Okay, your user ID. Mine is HMKAGM Item ID is the coal compactor, then the file extension. Now, the very important thing is, if you just right click on this and select save as and say yes, first thing it's going to do is change this XML file into a text document, because the way Windows work is this XML file extension here does not exist. Okay, because this is what it's saying. That is the file name that you want to save. That is the file extension, and it will automatically put it as a .txt. When you right click and save it, make sure you put in the name and put .xml and then press return. Okay, and I'm going to show you that now. So we're just going to delete all this off. Okay, so you can see that we've changed it. So you right click on it, save as, click on the Cole Compactor, and you'll see down here, I don't know if you can see it, it's very, very small, it's going to be blurry for you, but it's come up HMK AGM BWM.Cole Compactor, and it says it's going to save as an XML, but you must type .xml and then click save. Then you'll get confirm save as because it's already been overwritten, and you select yes, and that will save it as an XML file. That's the only thing I've noticed with this. Okay, and these files need to be saved in your generic AutoCrafter folder. Okay, in your XML folder, in your mod folder. If it's not, it ain't gonna work. So that is how you compact. Now we're gonna leave it here for today because again, I don't want these episodes being too long, and this is just the way that you make a machine. If when you want to unpack it, you just put the craft costs the other way around. Have fun, stay safe, bye for now.